not here yesterday, what can you tell me about this graph? So if you were on with me yesterday, don't say anything. If you weren't, what can you tell me about this graph?
It looked like as time passes, the height goes down.
As time passes, the height goes down. Very good. We're talking about liquid, so liquid is going down. So do you think this graph represents the top part of this tornado tube or the bottom? Any ideas? Well, this is a tornado tube. And we are talking, I call it a tornado tube because supposedly you see a tornado. It does leak a little bit. But if over time we see that the liquid height is going down, it has to be talking about the top. Not the top when it's empty, but if I turn this over, there's the tornado. So over time, the height here is decreasing. So that means this graph over here on the right is talking about the upper part of this prism. Okay? So we also see a line segment here, or a line. All right? What's the equation that we often have for a line? Moses, are you with me? Y equals mx plus b. Let that be your friend for the rest of this chapter. Okay? Y equals mx plus b. Can you give me any parts of that equation?
B.
B, what is B?
5.
5. How do you know that?
The y-intercept.
Yes, this right here is the y-intercept. Whoever has the music on, turn it off and put it away. Rude, very rude. So right there, we started with the liquid at a height of 5 centimeters. Okay? Can you give me anything else for this? Any other numbers, especially those of you that were not on yesterday? What does the M represent again? What's that called?
Slope.
Slope. Is this a positive or negative slope?
Negative.
Negative. How do you know?
The line is decreasing.
It is decreasing. It is going down. So this is showing negative slope. Okay, it is going down. So I know we said 5 is going to be what B is equal to. We know that the M is negative. What about my Y and the X values? Can I put numbers in for those right now?
No.
No. So Y equals negative something times X plus 5. Okay? We said M is that slope. Can we figure out what slope is? What is the slope formula? What?
y2 minus y1 over x2 over, or minus, that.
Yeah. Y sub 2, which means the y coordinate of a point, minus the y coordinate of a different point, all divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Well, as I look at this y-intercept, what is this as an ordered pair? What is that as an ordered pair? This 5. 0, 5. Yes, because it's the y coordinate, okay? Let's just say I go to this point right here, which happens to be at the intersection of these grid lines. What are the coordinates of that point? 1 and 4. Okay? So guys, I know some of you I haven't been around for a week, but some of you really need to pay attention now. Okay? So, looking at this, I need to take y sub 2 minus y sub 1. I'm going to start with this top point because the y value is larger. So that would be 5 minus the y coordinate 4, all divided by 0 and minus 1. 5 minus 4 is 1. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. 1 divided by negative 1 is... What is 1 divided by negative 1? Anyone? Xander. What's a positive divided by a negative? Should be a negative, and 1 divided by 1 is 1. So my slope here is negative 1x plus 5. Okay? Negative 1x plus 5. We started with 5 as a height. Okay? Again, this is for this top one. I'm going to go to the next page, which in your booklets, you probably should go to the next page. So let's take a look at this. Okay? Let's take a look at these first two. This is and shows what happens to the liquid from picture 1 to picture 6. Okay? Picture 1 to picture 6. Now, initially, maybe as you look at this first graph, you cannot tell, are we talking about the top part of the tornado tube or the bottom? But as you look at the second one here, you see that it is going downward, okay? So does that mean we're talking about the upper part of the tornado tube, or the bottom? Yes. So we're talking about, this is a graph of the top. Okay? Now, in looking at this, top, what is the height of the liquid here of that top prism? 5. So where do you think my graph is going to start if that is my very first picture? 5. Yes. So at time is 0, we are starting at 5. Okay? All right. No time has elapsed from that first picture. Then we look at the second picture. Okay? It goes from 5 to 4. So in 1 second time, we have gone and decreased 1 centimeter. What I also want you to know, which I didn't say here, but I did say yesterday, we had 5 centimeters of liquid here. How much was already in the bottom container? 1. So how many centimeters of water do I need to have at all times? Yes. You will have a total of 6 centimeters of liquid. Okay? 6 centimeters of liquid. All right, so here I have 4. Here I have 2. After 1 second, we're down to 4, because remember, this graph is only talking about the top part of this tornado tube. Okay? After another second goes by, we are down to 3, a height of 3 right here. So we have 3 and 3. As you look over here, we have 2 and 4. So we're at a height of 2 centimeters after 3 seconds. And then finally we have 1 and 5 right here. And here we have 0 and 6. Okay, so how long did it take to get from 5 centimeters down to 0? 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds. Now, what I also want you to recognize, when I turn this over and turn it like this, the speed that this is falling is going to be the same but opposite in terms of signs as the speed that it fills up. Okay? In other words, this is showing a negative slope going downward. This is being filled, if I do a graph for the bottom, it is being filled at that same time, but on the opposite side. So this would be negative, this would be a positive, because it would be going, actually positive for you guys, going this way, because it'd be going up. Does that kind of make sense? Okay? All right. Oh, shoot. Here, this is kind of the same thing, only with, what do you call it, sand timers. So if you look, they all have the same amount of sand. They're supposed to. Okay? I don't know, this one looks a little high. This looks a little light, this one looks a little high. I don't know. But if I turn them over, let's see if they're going to empty at relatively the same rate. Huh? Look at this one. This one is filling up a lot faster. So even though they all have the same amount, they are switching from the top to the bottom part at different rates.